The Japanese live longer than almost anyone on Earth, and one of their oldest secrets has nothing to do with food. It's what they put in their water. And after 60, it could be the difference between warm, strong circulation and the cold hands, numb feet, and dizziness you've been blaming on age. A 71-year-old woman sat across from me drinking her 8 glasses a day like every doctor preached. Still cold, still numb, still wiped out by noon. Here's the truth that stunned her. After 60, plain water turns against you. It rips through your system in 45 minutes and drags your minerals out with it. The exact electrolytes your blood vessels need to stay open and push blood into your legs, heart, and brain get diluted and flushed away. So you drink more, you feel worse, and the water itself is the silent culprit nobody warns you about. The Japanese figured this out centuries ago. They never drink water plain. They add specific things that turn an ordinary glass into a circulation tool. And the difference is staggering. I had that woman use 6 of these Japanese tricks, changed nothing else. 3 weeks later, her hands ran warm, her dizziness was gone, and she had energy through the whole afternoon for the first time in years. These 6 tricks transform plain water into something that throws your vessels open, drives minerals straight into your blood, and fires up circulation the second it hits you. The $300 billion beverage and supplement industry would rather sell you powders and $40 bottles when these 6 additions do it for pennies. Lock in for trick number 3 because it spikes blood flow harder than anything else on this list, and it costs almost nothing. Every source is in the description below. Before we start, tell me who's with me, your age, and the country you're watching from down in the comments. I rate and answer every single one myself. Now, let's start with trick number 6, which turns a single glass of water into a circulation booster the instant you drink it. Number 6, shiso leaf water. Shiso, sometimes called perilla, is a leafy herb that looks a lot like basil but has a completely different flavor. It has this subtle minty, slightly peppery taste that the Japanese have been using in their food and drinks for well over 1,000 years. But here's what makes shiso truly remarkable for your blood flow after 60. This leaf is loaded with a compound called rosmarinic acid, and rosmarinic acid is one of nature's most powerful anti-inflammatory agents. Why does that matter? Because chronic low-grade inflammation is one of the biggest destroyers of healthy circulation as you age. When your blood vessels are inflamed, they stiffen and narrow. Blood has a harder time pushing through. Think of it like trying to squeeze water through a garden hose that someone is stepping on. A study published in the Journal of Nutritional Science and Vitaminology tested perilla extract on adults with poor circulatory markers. After just 8 weeks, participants showed a 19% reduction in inflammatory markers directly tied to blood vessel stiffness. Their blood literally moved more freely through their arteries. On top of that, research from Osaka University found that the alpha-linolenic acid in shiso, which is a plant-based omega-3 fatty acid, helped reduce platelet aggregation by about 14%. In simple terms, it made blood less sticky, so it could pass more easily through even the tiniest capillaries in your fingers and toes. Now, here's how you make shiso leaf water at home. Take about 5 to 7 fresh shiso leaves, or roughly 2 tablespoons of dried shiso if fresh isn't available. Bring 2 cups of water to a gentle boil, then immediately turn the heat off. Drop the leaves in and let them steep for 10 to 12 minutes with a lid on. Strain it and drink it warm or at room temperature. The Japanese traditionally drink this first thing in the morning before eating, and that timing actually matters. Your blood tends to be thickest and most sluggish right after you wake up because you've been fasting and losing moisture all night. So hitting your system with shiso water in that window gives those anti-inflammatory compounds immediate work to do. For maximum benefit, make it a daily habit. You can even prepare a larger batch and keep it refrigerated for up to 3 days. The effects are cumulative, meaning they build over time. This isn't something you try once and forget about. Stick with it for 3 to 4 weeks and pay attention to your extremities. If your hands and feet start feeling warmer throughout the day, that's your peripheral circulation improving, and that's the shiso doing its job. But shiso is just the beginning. The next one is something almost every household in Japan has in their kitchen right now. Number 5. Shogayu, Japanese ginger water. In Japan, shogayu is more than a drink. It's practically medicine in a cup. The word itself translates to hot ginger water, and Japanese families have been preparing it the same way for generations, especially during colder months and for elderly family members dealing with poor circulation. The active compound that makes this work is called gingerol, and gingerol is a natural vasodilator. That means it literally tells your blood vessels to relax and widen. When your blood vessels open up even a little bit, blood can move through with far less resistance, and that means more oxygen and more nutrients reaching every organ in your body. A clinical trial published in the journal Phytomedicine tested ginger extract on 60 adults with sluggish circulation. After 12 weeks of daily consumption, participants experienced a 17% improvement in peripheral blood flow and a measurable drop in blood viscosity, which is just a fancy term for how thick your blood is. Another study out of Kyoto University specifically looked at adults over 55 and found that regular ginger water consumption lowered fibrinogen levels by about 13%. Fibrinogen is a protein in your blood that promotes clotting. Too much of it makes your blood thick and slow. Bringing those levels down is like unclogging a drain so everything flows properly again. Now here's the Japanese way to prepare shogayu, and it's important to do it right because the preparation method affects how much gingerol you actually extract. Start with a piece of fresh ginger root about 2 inches long. Don't peel it. The skin contains valuable compounds. Slice it thinly, as thin as you possibly can, and drop the slices into about 2 cups of water. Bring it to a low boil and let it simmer gently for 15 minutes. Don't let it boil aggressively because high heat degrades some of the beneficial compounds. After 15 minutes, strain it into a cup. If the taste is too intense, you can add a small drizzle of raw honey, but keep it minimal. The Japanese typically drink shogayu twice a day, once in the morning and once in the late afternoon. One key detail most people miss is that fresh ginger and dried ginger actually have slightly different effects. Fresh ginger is richer in gingerol, which is best for acute blood flow improvement. But when ginger is dried or heated, gingerol converts into shogaol, which has even stronger anti-inflammatory effects for long-term vascular health. So the ideal approach is to use fresh ginger in your daily shogayu, but also incorporate a pinch of dried ginger powder occasionally to get both compounds working together. Research shows this combination can amplify the circulatory benefits by up to 21% compared to using fresh ginger alone. That's a significant edge from just a simple tweak in preparation. Now let's move on to something the Japanese drink by the gallon, especially during summer, and it does something incredible to your blood. Before we roll on, hit like and make sure you're subscribed. The next part might surprise you. Number 4. Mujicha, roasted barley tea. If you've ever visited Japan or watched any Japanese cooking content, you've definitely seen mujicha. It's everywhere. Every convenience store sells it. Every home refrigerator has a picture of it chilling. It's the unofficial national drink of Japanese summers, and it happens to be caffeine-free, which makes it perfect for older adults who need to be careful about stimulants. But here's the secret most people outside Japan have no clue about. Mujicha doesn't just hydrate you. It actively improves the quality of your blood. A groundbreaking study conducted by researchers at Kagome Laboratories in Japan found that roasted barley tea significantly decreased blood viscosity in healthy volunteers. Participants who drank mujicha regularly showed blood that flowed 22% more easily through microvessels compared to those drinking plain water. 22% more easily. That's not a subtle change. That's the kind of improvement that could mean the difference between blood reaching your extremities properly or pooling and clotting in dangerous places. The compounds responsible are a group of antioxidants called alkylpyrazines, which are created specifically during the roasting process. Raw barley doesn't have them. It's the roasting that unlocks these powerful molecules. Alkylpyrazines work by reducing the tendency of red blood cells to clump together. When red blood cells clump, They form what scientists call rouleaux formations, which look like stacks of coins under a microscope. These stacks are too big to pass through tiny capillaries easily, so your extremities suffer. Mujicha helps break those stacks apart and keeps individual blood cells flowing freely. Another study published in the Journal of Agricultural and Food Chemistry confirmed that Mujicha consumption reduced oxidative stress markers by about 16% in regular drinkers, which further supports healthy blood vessel walls. To prepare Mujicha the authentic Japanese way, you have two options. The traditional method is to toast raw barley grains in a dry skillet over medium heat until they turn deep brown and smell nutty, about 8 to 10 minutes. Then add 4 tablespoons of the toasted grains to 8 cups of boiling water and simmer for 5 minutes. Strain and let it cool. The easier method is to buy pre-roasted Mujicha tea bags, which are available at most Asian grocery stores and online. Just drop 1 bag into a pitcher of hot water, let it steep for 10 minutes, remove the bag and refrigerate. The Japanese drink Mujicha cold throughout the entire day, often replacing plain water entirely during warmer months. For the best circulatory benefits, aim for 3 to 4 cups daily. The beauty of Mujicha is that it's incredibly gentle on your stomach, has 0 caffeine, and can be consumed freely without worrying about overstimulation or sleep disruption. It's the easiest swap you can make. Ready for number 3? This one comes from the ocean and it's one of Japan's oldest health secrets. Number 3. Kombu water. Kelp-infused water. Kombu is a type of thick, dark seaweed that forms the backbone of Japanese cooking. It's the base of dashi, which is the broth that practically every traditional Japanese dish starts with. But the Japanese don't just cook with kombu. Many elders drink kombu-infused water daily as a health tonic, and the science behind why they do this is honestly staggering. The star compound in kombu is called fucoidan, a complex sugar molecule found exclusively in brown seaweed. Fucoidan has been the subject of over 1,500 published studies, and its effects on blood flow are remarkable. A 2018 study published in Marine Drugs tested fucoidan supplementation on older adults with compromised circulation. After 8 weeks, participants showed a 20% improvement in blood flow velocity and a 15% reduction in fibrinogen, that clotting protein that makes your blood dangerously thick. Even more impressive, a separate Japanese clinical trial found that daily kombu consumption reduced total cholesterol by about 11% and LDL cholesterol by 15% within just 10 weeks. Why does cholesterol matter for blood flow? Because when LDL cholesterol oxidizes, it sticks to the walls of your arteries and forms plaque. That plaque narrows your arteries and restricts how much blood can get through. So by lowering LDL, kombu is essentially helping to keep your arterial highways wide open. On top of fucoidan, kombu is extraordinarily rich in iodine, potassium, and magnesium, all 3 of which play critical roles in maintaining healthy blood pressure and keeping blood vessels elastic and flexible rather than stiff and brittle. Now preparing kombu water is incredibly simple, but patience is key. Take 1 strip of dried kombu, roughly 4 to 5 inches long. Place it in a glass jar or pitcher with about 4 cups of cold filtered water. Put it in the refrigerator and let it sit overnight, at least 8 hours. That's it. The cold water extraction method is actually preferred over boiling because high heat can degrade fucoidan and also release too much iodine too quickly, which you don't want in excess. In the morning, remove the kombu strip and drink 1 cup of the infused water on an empty stomach. You can sip the remaining cups throughout the day. The water will have a very mild, slightly savory taste, almost like a very light broth. Most people find it pleasant and easy to drink. One important note is that kombu water is high in iodine, so if you have a thyroid condition, please talk to your doctor before making this a daily habit. For everyone else, 1 to 2 cups daily is the sweet spot that studies suggest gives you the circulatory benefits without overdoing the iodine. The Japanese have been doing this for centuries, and their cardiovascular disease rates speak for themselves. Kombu water is one of those deceptively simple things that punches way above its weight. Now, the next one at number 2 might surprise you. It's sour, it's salty, and it's been a Japanese survival food for over 1,000 years. Number 2, umeboshi water, pickled plum water. Umeboshi are Japanese pickled plums, and they are intense. They're extremely sour, salty, and puckering. Most Westerners who try one for the first time make a face, but in Japan, umeboshi are considered one of the most powerful health foods in existence. Japanese warriors carried them into battle. Japanese grandmothers put them in lunchboxes every single day. And now modern science is confirming what the Japanese have believed for over 1,000 years. Umeboshi are extraordinary for your blood. The key compound is citric acid, and umeboshi are absolutely loaded with it. Citric acid does something remarkable inside your body. It breaks down lactic acid and other metabolic waste products that accumulate in your bloodstream and make your blood sluggish and acidic. When these waste products build up, your blood becomes more viscous and your circulation suffers. A study published in the Japanese Journal of Complementary and Alternative Medicine found that participants who consumed umeboshi extract daily for 6 weeks showed a 23% improvement in overall blood fluidity. Their red blood cells move through capillaries significantly faster. A separate clinical study conducted at Wakayama Medical University specifically examined adults over 60 and found that daily umeboshi consumption improved blood flow velocity by 18% and reduced systolic blood pressure by an average of 8 mmHg. That blood pressure reduction alone is clinically meaningful. Beyond citric acid, umeboshi contain a unique compound called mumefuryl, which is created during the pickling process and is found almost nowhere else in nature. Mumefuryl has been shown in laboratory studies to directly inhibit excessive platelet aggregation, meaning it helps prevent dangerous blood clots from forming while still allowing normal, healthy clotting when you get a cut. That's an incredibly delicate balance, and mumefuryl handles it naturally. To make umeboshi water, take 1 whole umeboshi plum, place it in a cup, and pour 8 ounces of warm water over it. Use a spoon to gently break apart the plum in the water, letting the flesh dissolve and the pit remain. Stir it well and drink it warm. The best time to drink umeboshi water is first thing in the morning, at least 20 minutes before breakfast. This gives the citric acid a clean shot at breaking down overnight metabolic waste before any food enters your system. You can also drink a second cup in the early evening to support blood flow during the overnight hours when circulation naturally slows down. One very important detail is to buy authentic Japanese umeboshi, not the sweetened versions that some stores carry. Real umeboshi should contain only plums, salt, and shiso leaves. No sugar. No artificial preservatives. The sugar-sweetened versions have significantly less citric acid and won't give you the same benefits. If the taste is too strong at first, start with half a plum per cup and work your way up over a week or 2. Your palate will adjust quickly, and your blood will thank you for it. And now we arrive at number 1. This is the single most powerful Japanese blood flow secret on this entire list, and the research behind it is truly extraordinary. Number 1, Matcha, ceremonial green tea. If there is one drink that captures the essence of Japanese longevity and cardiovascular health in a single cup, it's matcha. Not regular green tea, not green tea extract capsules, matcha. And the distinction matters enormously. When you brew regular green tea, you steep the leaves and then throw them away. You're only getting a fraction of what the leaf contains. With matcha, you're consuming the entire tea leaf ground into a fine powder. That means you're getting every single compound the leaf has to offer, and the most important of those compounds is called epigallocatechin gallate, or EGCG for short. EGCG is a catechin, a type of antioxidant, and it is arguably the most studied natural vasodilator in the entire scientific literature. A 2019 study from the University of Tokyo examined 72 adults over the age of 60 with mild arterial stiffness. Half drank matcha daily and half drank a placebo. After 12 weeks, the matcha group showed a 26% improvement in flow-mediated dilation. which is the gold standard measurement of how well your blood vessels expand when blood needs to pass through. They also showed a 29% reduction in arterial stiffness. Those are numbers that rival some prescription medications, and this is just ground tea leaves. A meta-analysis published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition reviewed 15 separate trials and confirmed that regular green tea catechin consumption reduced blood pressure by an average of 6 mesh systolic and 4 mesh diastolic, with Matcha delivering roughly 3 times the EGCG concentration of regular green tea. Those effects are amplified significantly. But EGCG isn't working alone. Matcha also contains L-theanine, an amino acid that promotes the production of nitric oxide in your blood vessels. Nitric oxide is the molecule that tells your blood vessel walls to relax. More nitric oxide means wider arteries, less resistance, and better blood flow everywhere, from your brain to your heart to your legs and feet. Now, the way you prepare matcha matters a great deal. Start with high-quality ceremonial-grade matcha powder, not culinary grade, because ceremonial grade is made from younger, more nutrient-dense leaves. Sift 1 to 2 teaspoons of matcha into a bowl or wide cup to remove clumps. Add about 2 ounces of hot water that is around 175 degrees Fahrenheit. This temperature is critical. Boiling water at 212 degrees will destroy a significant portion of the EGCG and make the tea bitter. Use a bamboo whisk called a chasen and whisk vigorously in a W-shaped motion until the tea is frothy and smooth. Then add another 4 to 6 ounces of warm water to bring it to drinking strength. The Japanese traditionally drink matcha in the morning and again in the early afternoon. Because matcha does contain caffeine, roughly 70 milligrams per serving, avoid drinking it after 3 in the afternoon if you're sensitive to caffeine. For maximum circulatory benefit, research suggests 2 servings per day is the sweet spot, providing approximately 250 milligrams of EGCG, which is the dosage most clinical trials use to achieve those impressive blood flow results. Make this a daily ritual, and you're giving your cardiovascular system one of the most powerful natural tools that exists. And there you have it. 6 Japanese hydration secrets backed by real science that can help transform your blood flow after 60. You don't need to adopt all 6 at once. Start with the one that resonates most with you, make it a habit, and build from there. Your body will notice the difference. If you found this video helpful, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss what's coming next. Thanks for watching.